Thank you so much, Renee, and thank you so much for that kind introduction. I'm absolutely excited to be on the call with everyone tonight. I want to thank everyone for logging in as we fast approach our international convention. I can't tell you all how thrilled and excited I am to be going there. But before I get started, I'd like to bring on an incredible gentleman that has taught me so much. I actually got a chance to meet this gentleman 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago. Just in June is actually going to be 9 years for me with the company. And he's no one other than our amazing CEO and founder. To tell you a little bit about him, comes from a tremendous background in the industry, in the direct sales industry. An absolute veteran in the industry, has built organizations of over 100,000 people, a mentor to 14 millionaires, self-made millionaires. Of course, he's created, was a self-made millionaire at the age of 24. Again, the author and creator and developer of the Forensic Advanced Marketing System that teaches people how to go from 0 to 6 figures in the next 12 to 18 months, as well as the visionary and the compensation plan expert of creating the first ever variable compensation plan that he introduced through his experience in the industry, over 20 years, actually over more than 20 years now, in the industry of direct sales. So again, this gentleman is absolutely brilliant, not only because of the vision that he had with creating the most unique product lines, but also being able to come up with an incredible compensation plan that has never been done in an almost 100-year-old industry. And it's my absolute pleasure and honor to bring on our CEO, founder, and visionary, Mr. Remy Mesgarlu. Sir, are you there with us?
Good evening, Sanas. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening, everyone. If you've seen our Facebook posting over the last couple of hours, you know that we went to a charity. I guess Sanas talked about. She spent pretty much a whole weekend doing charities, and we'd like to give some of our time to notable causes. And this particular charity today was for sick kids, and some of the wealthy people in the GTA area got together. Dealership was heading it, the exotic car dealership was heading it. What a place. But the important part is this, having mingling with people, and it's unbelievable, it never fails at how mesmerized people will get with the GWT story. So that just, and I'll tell you, as a founder CEO of this company, I need to hear that from outside, people who are not part of a business, because we know what we've got is the absolute best in the world. We know what we're doing is going to change the world for a lot of people. It's always nice to see, but we're so close to the subject matter, we get used to it. It's so nice to see when you bring this fresh story to new people and their faces just drop of how beautiful this story is. So I'm revved up about this call tonight. I wish we could talk more about what we are releasing. We had debates about what we want to release tonight, so we've taken about 5 of the 14 releases that we're going to give you a sneak preview at. Just so you know, this is not one of those conventions that you're going to say, well, I'm going to miss, I'll hear about it afterwards. And for the past 25 years, and I've heard people say, you know what, I miss it, I can't go for whatever the reason, and I'll just hear it afterwards, and never misses, without exception, every single one of them who hear the story what happened, they regret not being there. You have absolutely no reason to miss this. Miss your yearly vacation this year, make this your vacation. Make sure you're there. It will change you as a GWTLC. If this business is important to you, this is the most important event of the year, perhaps the most important event of your career, especially if you're new, because once you go back, you're going to be a completely different person. So just to give you a little sneak preview, tease you a little bit, we're going to tonight show you some of the obvious ones. I can tell you, what you're going to see tonight is, like I said, some of the samples, some of the obvious ones, but there are releases that are coming up, we're not going to talk about tonight, that's going to absolutely shock you. Shock you. You will have never imagined it. I'm talking to people like Renee, Reza, all these top people would say, I would have never imagined that this is as far as we're going to go. So those shockers we're not even going to talk about tonight. So what you're gonna see, it's gonna mesmerize you tonight. But this is just the beginning, because the the big ones, the ones that are absolutely going to wow you, it's not even going to be talked about tonight. So Sanaz, I guess where do we start? Because I'm revved up on this. There's too much to talk about. Where do we start?
Well, Ramin, just before we get started, I just want to make sure that any of our leadership board that's on the Global Wealth Trade line, mute yourself as you are getting an echo. Thank you very much. And Ramin, like you said, tonight is all about giving that sneak peek into what's coming for the convention, the top secrets. We're gonna introduce some of them, but I remember when I first attended the first convention, and it's always great to be a part of history and see the evolvement of any brand or any company. And the first thing, the first thing is making sure you're protecting your investment, of being at these events to be able to see where the company is going with the development, with the expansion. What's really amazing at Ramin, if you remember, we started off with costume jewelry. Then from costume jewelry, we went into sterling silver. We went from 14, 18 karat gold into 19 and 21 karat gold. And now, I mean, with the Posh collection, the Fairy collection, of course, the Fairy Mosh collection, the brand has evolved. And, with all of the different developments and new releases that we've done every year, I think this year is just, going to just blow last year out of the water. People are going to be absolutely mesmerized. And, of course, with all of the special presentations that we have, I can't wait. But Ramin, maybe we can talk about the first thing about the Global Wealth Trade brands, the Fairy, the Posh, and of course I know you want to talk a little bit about the Fairy Mosh.
Well, some of these developments that we're going to release this convention, some of them have taken as much as 4 years. 4 years of R&D, research and development, many failures to finally being perfect for us to be able to get it out. And so that's why it's so important. We always talk about, we're not like other brands that every season we throw something out without any R&D or any research. It takes to go from pen to release, it takes about 2 years. And some of them took 3 years. In one particular case here, it's taken 4 years to basically be able to be able to release it finally to the way Fairy is. So I am absolutely revved up about that. As you can see on the screen, we have something new. Now the brand itself is not new, but the logo is new, and that's the Fairy Mosh logo. So let me tell you why. In 2008, we did a pre-launch of Fairy Mosh. And up till today, it's been a pre-launch. We've never officially launched Fairy Mosh. And I've always said, we're going to launch it at some point, but I held it back. And the reason why Fairy Mosh was held back is because we were developing Fairy, the brand that's making you money. And of course, Fairy Mosh evolved to become where it is today, being the number one, being the benchmark of the luxury world. And what the Fairy Mosh role was is basically to create a credibility platform for Fairy and Posh. And it did that tremendously. Another thing Fairy Mosh did was basically mesmerize the media. So we got a whole bunch of great free media out of it because people were just so blown away by this creation. So, but up to today, even though we have, Sanaz, I think about 250 or 260 people part of the Fairy Mosh Club. And if you don't know what that is, at some point, all the Fairy Mosh owners, which we call Fairy Mosh keepers, they'll get together annually, very elaborate party. They're part of the special club, and we'll do some really cool stuff with them. But the reason why the logo has changed now is because we're close to launching it. Very close. So I had to sit down, completely rebrand it from the logo, because where Fairy Mosh is going, you have never imagined. So this is why the logo has changed. And at the convention, that's one of the shockers you're going to get comes from Fairy Mosh.
Well, so Ramin, you know what? We have actually a couple of sneak previews of this that's going to be coming out for convention that we didn't obviously include. There's just too much to talk about that we couldn't include everything, but we definitely have a special treat for this brand new Fairy Mosh logo that of course is going to come out on the runway and be featured in our showroom as well. And I can't wait for that release to happen. So that's going to be a little mini preview that we're going to give you, which is of course our new Fairy Mosh logo. And some of you that were at our party on Friday got a chance to be able to see that up on the media wall. I know Nora Bastian won $50 that night for noticing the change in the logo. So Ramin, I can't wait for all the release of our special project that's going to be coming out for the Fairy Mosh for this convention. So let's get started and sort of show them what is coming.
Well, look, I was talking about Posh. Posh, what it did in engineering or in car terminology, it supercharged our engine. It just took us to a completely different level. Not only it allowed us to have access to pretty much 99% of the world's population because of the price point, it allowed me to do things with Ferry that we're going to talk about later that I will not have been able to do without Posh. See, all the brands are very strategically placed and they work together synergistically, where we came up with Posh because we had plans for Ferry that we could not execute unless we had a line to cover a very huge gap, especially in the fashion part. Now, much like everything else we have in Moto, if you're not getting better, we're getting worse. Now, Posh was a major hit from the beginning. The Generation 2 that came out, people were even recently came out, Tanaz. You'll talk more about that. We were more mesmerized. And tonight, I guess you're going to be talking about the next generation of Posh and where it is heading.
Well, Ramin, I am super, super excited to talk about the next generation of Posh, to tell you all a little bit about what's coming. We, of course, have New Edition, which is going to be lots and lots of different sets that are going to be coming for the ladies. So I know, in the Caribbean, they're going to love it. Canada, they're going to love it. U.S., I mean, everywhere, every continent in the world, Nigeria, Africa, I mean, they are going to absolutely love this. All of the designs, there's going to be a lot of sets, which means necklace, earrings, bracelets, matchy rings that are going to be coming out. Lots of different metal colors, such as gold and silver colors, going to be coming out in this collection. Of course, we have our Posh watch collection that's going to be Posh watches that are going to be coming out for this collection as well. And something that the gentlemen have been waiting for, the Posh for Men. This collection is coming out for this international convention. So get ready for it. You are going to have an absolute blast with men's necklaces as well as bracelets. There's going to be cufflinks. There's going to be some chains. I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of goodies that are going to be coming. We just wanted to give you a couple of items so you can get a chance to get the preview and get excited about. But of course, the new collection from Posh is going to absolutely blow you away for the ladies and as well as the men.
Now, I've seen this new Posh collection. And again, as usual, if you're new, you might not know this, but years, as we do it in our New Year's mega webinar, we always take the most subtle representation of what's coming for these type of webinars. We don't take our best we put here. We take the most subtle because we want to do what we always do, where people will look at the most subtle items and they're going to say, wow. And then they think that's where they're at. And when the release actually happens, they're like, we would have never imagined it could get better than what we thought. So yeah, we have a huge Posh for Men lines coming up. You've heard, if you haven't heard already, we'll talk about it a little bit later on. There's going to be some changes in the Fairy lineup because of this as well. Again, strategically, things are changing. But this new Posh collection, I've seen them. They're absolutely gorgeous. The Posh watch will change your home branding parties. I mean, everything that Sanaz is coming out with Posh, it's going to put money in your pocket. it's going to blow up your branding parties, whether you do it online or whether you do it at home, whether you have your lookbooks that you're basically walking around home to home or talking to your family, friends, whoever it is. These items are designed for instant cash, instant gratification, is money in your jeans instantly. That's our whole focus with the Posh collection. So absolutely revved up. So now, how many new designs are you going to be launching with this next generation Posh? Of course, you may also touch on, I have, is that I want to make sure that we maintain certain level of price point and we not exceed that. It's very difficult to do when you have a reputation that Ferry has, being a prestige designer, and then this is Posh by Ferry. Very difficult to do in these type of price points when you associate with a brand like Ferry. But we've managed to do it. That's why we have the 50/50 platform. This is probably by far the best quality fashion jewelry on the planet. Our job is, big part of our job is basically market research. We know what the home party companies put out. None of them have these material, this quality, but much like our culture though, it doesn't make a difference which line it is. We're constantly evolving and improving. Hence, we already had the next second generation Posh came out, was absolutely stunning. And this next generation, Sanaz, I know you're doing some special work as well with the plating and some of the other materials that you use.
Absolutely. Well, Ramin, what's really important is if you've just recently joined us or it's been a couple of months, with our Fairy Sterling Silver, we always have evolved the line. And what we've done basically with the Posh is the first Posh collection that came out last year. It just flew up extremely, extremely well. It put a lot of cash in a lot of people's pockets that were conducting the parties or doing trade fairs or trade shows. And so the second generation, like Ramin, you mentioned, that came out, we changed the plating, we upgraded it, we triple plated it. We changed some of the stones. We started to upgrade and just become much, much better than the average, even status quo, which again, we've already gone above the standards of the norm, if you want to call it. Or as a comparison to any sort of direct sales company. And so what's happening with the new Posh collection that's going to be coming out this convention is, of course, the collection for men that's coming out, which is going to be extremely exciting, which I'm looking so forward to, because I know every time, I'm in a room, the guys are like, when is the Posh for men coming? When is the Posh for men coming? Well, gentlemen, the wait is over. It's going to be at convention. Make sure you're there. And the other thing, Ramin, as well, as you know, I came to you and talked to you a little bit about the plating. We've actually we were triple plating it. Now we are plating it about 5 times when it comes to our Posh. So it's again, investing into our products, making sure that our people are loving them. Again, doing some enhancements to our stones. And the Posh has just, started a life on its own. So the Safari collection, it's going to expand. The Posh for men, it's going to expand. Some of the older items are going to be discontinued. So this is fashion jewelry. It's meant to change all the time. So we are going to be bringing lots and lots of new stuff. There's going to be some new additions coming out. Much better plating, amazing quality. You're going to absolutely love it. I'm sure many of you already have seen my rollout of the new pink Posh boxes. They've been a tremendous hit. I've got amazing, amazing feedback, and I thank you all for your feedback that you give me all the time. The boxes have been a huge hit. Again, the Posh was meant for the home party collection. It's meant to put cash in your pocket. So if you haven't invested into some Posh, make sure you pick it up. Make sure you're wearing it. Make sure you are a product of the product. And you know what? Let's make 2014 a strong revenue stream for you through the Posh collection.
The relentless pursuit of perfection. We put that through everything we put. That's the mindset. That's a thought process for everything. Now, the top 100 bestsellers in our company, the stat that I saw was 80 of the top 100 are in the Posh collection. Absolutely. If you haven't opened up the Posh yet, you just have a mental block for yourself. I'm telling you right now, Ferry Marsh is my absolute baby. Obviously, it's something that I'm involved with every ounce of it personally and where it's at today. But I can tell you right now, Ferry Marsh is not your moneymaker. That's there. That's a show off line. To say, look what we can do. That's your concept design of something so astronomically incredible. It's just to mesmerize and wow people. Where your money is in Ferry, and more so is in Posh. And when you have 80 of the top 100 sellers in a Posh collection, and you haven't warmed up to it yet, you're costing yourself a ton of money. Now I'm telling you, wait and expect to be wowed by what's coming out. But understand where your money is. And this is not about you. As men, for example, even before we had the Posh for Men, it didn't make a difference that we didn't have a Posh for Men. What it mattered is that people who we're going to help launch their VDMs, they're going to do home branding parties, they're going to wear this, they're going to sell it, and that's going to make CV, and CV turns into cash. So we want to make sure you understand what pays you, what's going to make you wealthy. It's not about you. It's about what is the demand. People who buy McDonald's franchise, they don't necessarily do it because they love bacon. They do it because the business makes sense and it's a cash machine. So we're telling you, Posh is your cash machine. If it is for the company, it is for you. We're in the same business. So pay very close attention to where Posh is today and where it's going. And for you young guys, the Posh for Men, all these great necklaces that are coming out, chains and so forth. Again, you should be just as excited as the young ladies who've been using them for the past 6 months or so.
All right, Ramin, I know this collection that's coming up, excuse me, is an actual collection that you are so revved up for.
The Hollywood collection. Let me tell you this. I mean, you've noticed this. This is our 8th year that we're designing and manufacturing timepieces. I am very proud of that. Seeing people wearing our 2007 collection timepieces and still on their arm, they're absolutely mesmerized and loving it. It's like vintage piece for them. They would never sell for any. It's just a different feeling because people would expect us to be the best in jewelry because of our heritage, and we are the best. But we're not. We're not in the watch business. But the way we've conquered that, and you've noticed that our timepieces over time has become more and more sophisticated. And when we take a look at the new Ferry President, we're at $140,000 timepiece that 4 country presidents are wearing right now. But technologically, where we're going with our timepieces, it's a place we've never been. So we've been saying this a lot, Sanaz and I, and we're gonna say it again tonight. You have, sorry, I just got distracted because I noticed how many lines are there, and maybe Renee can tell us that if this is our all-time record or not. In any event, so where we're going technologically with this, right, where we are right now, I personally don't know any fashion company in the world that's there. In fact, in the case of the Ferry Red line that's coming out, one of the releases in this convention, that's probably, it sits right up there with the best of watch manufacturers when it comes to sports watches. Now, what I wanted to do is that because Ferry is a prestige designer, this Ferry Hollywood, I wanted to bring it out as a timepiece that we're not going to make really money on because it is so elaborate in design. It's absolutely mesmerizing. When you put it on, people would think you're wearing a $100,000 Cartier piece watch. And I wanted one of those in-your-face type of watches that people know this might cost a room. Yet, I'm very adamant on this particular collection, keep it at a price that I could see when I walk into a mall that I know there's in that mall several people are wearing this. I anticipate that this is going to be a bestseller instantly, instant bestseller. It's going to be a collection that we're going to evolve. We're going to expand year after year. So it's not what you're going to see right now. We have 3 designs now. You've seen one of them already. It was released last year. And every year we're going to add one or two more designs to this Hollywood collection. So this Hollywood collection, I like to see anyone who has any fashion sense. They're going to get one of these things because they're absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a $100,000 timepiece, but you don't have to pay $100,000 for it. And I want to tell our designers, and I love it, but 99% of this watch, these designs were done in-house right here in our world headquarters. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of this. The quality of what we've done. Again, it's going to be like a lost leader where we're not going to make money with this because of what time you use your IA program, but it doesn't matter to me. I want a timepiece that's going to create waves in the fashion world. And when you create something like that, you start to attract media. When you attract media, then you're checked. So when I sit here in my office, it's obviously I look at my bottom line every morning, but after that, I get into marketing mode. How can we create that next big wave? I'm telling you, the Hollywood collection, it's going to floor you, and anyone who's seen you wearing one of these, they're going to want it. And we've already have hundreds of stories. People saying I sold my watch off my wrist. Prepare for that to happen every time you wear your Ferry Hollywood. I am revved up about this. We're going to actually release to you tonight all three designs of the 2014 Ferry Hollywood collection tonight. Now, we did one of them last year, and we saw your reaction. Everybody's like, my God, when can we have this? Well, tonight, you're going to see the other two collection, and Tanaz, anytime you're ready, you can release this first release. Look at that. Go ahead, Tanaz. Why don't you take our audience through it?
Absolutely. Well, Ramin, you know, just looking at it every single time gets me revved up, gets me excited, and you know, it like it says in the poster, red carpet. You know, refined, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's they come in different styles, different sort of bling, whether they're princess cut or the round stone. Some have stones on the band, some don't. So it's got a great selection to be able to choose from. Of course, we've incorporated our fairy swan into all of these. The stonework will just absolutely mesmerize you. The color of the timepieces will just blow you away. Like Ramin mentioned, these are going to look like $100,000 watches that you're going to be wearing on your wrist. You're going to have a great time to be able to retail even these items. They are going to capture so much attention. So you want to make sure that you are at convention, up front, personal, close, getting a chance. And Ramin, of course, we're going to be like we do in any convention, we're going to be having a whole bunch of goodies. We're going to have everything on the runway, of course, on our beautiful Ferry model, so you get a chance to be a part of the crowd, be a part of the experience. But you know what? I'm just absolutely amazed by these. I'm so excited. I can't wait for them to re-release, and I can't wait that it's just so close, just around the corner.
Well, again, going back to this, the most important part about these timepieces, the Hollywood collection, is that the price. We can be asking about 4 times of what we're going to be asking for it, and it still be a bargain. But again, I'm treating this as a loss leader for the company because we want tens of thousands of people sporting it and flashing it around the world. So obviously the samples you see on screen, they're all rose colored. By the way, these are specialty designed rose for our company. It's not like any other rose because everyone has its own formulation. Some of them come also in gold as well as silver. So these 3 designs you see, there will be at least one more variation, color variation, and 2 of them have 2 more color variations when it's released. So you'll have it in silver as well as in gold. I couldn't say more about this. These timepieces, by the way, 41 in diameter. It's gonna stand right out. The shine, the bling, you know, I just can't wait for it to come. Now we're informed that the samples will be ready for the convention, so you will see them on the runway as well as with on the models afterwards. Very Hollywood collection, red carpet redefined. Expect these timepieces to show up on many, many, many celebrities on every red carpet event around the world. Revved up, revved up, revved up, as you can see, very Hollywood collection.
Absolutely, Ramin. Well, you know what? Going from the Hollywood collection, the collection, now we're going to talk a little bit about our very fine sterling silver.
Well, I know you're all shocked reading what you're reading. Yes, it is true. The line that brought us to where we are today, which is a very fine sterling line, the gorgeous bling shocks that you get when you come to our gallery, uh, the line that mesmerized all of you and Hollywood, the very fine sterling era is coming to an end. That's our jewelry collection. And part of that is I always want to create, because we have some very unique capabilities. We've always had it, but over the past 9 years of very, very intense R&D, we've learned things about metals that the world doesn't know. So I always say we're in a metallurgy business where we work with different types of metals. So because we have those capabilities, because we have those knowledge, because we have the money to put into this R&D, once we discover something no one else has, then we say, you know what? It's time for us to let go and move into this new direction. And I wouldn't take a risk. You know me, I wouldn't take a risk unless I knew. I was 100% sure that we have something better that's going to be exclusive to global wealth trade. And this is the essence of what Ferry Marsh is. Ferry Marsh became the benchmark of the world by the top media and regulators is because knowing the world's ever done 21K. And the fact that we figured out how to do the 21 and 19, so what do? We immediately dropped the 18, the platinum, the 14 that we used to do. And at that time, a lot of people said, Ramin, are you sure about the decision? I was 100% sure because we want to be the most exclusive brand on the planet. Just because you have beautiful designs, great quality, and you charge a lot, right now the standard of exclusivity from the luxury designers is that. Great designs, latest designs, great quality, you pay a lot. But really, are they any different from each other? We know for a fact that they're not much different from each other. Ferry Marsh, everybody in the world knows that it is, that's why I call it the Bugatti of the jewelry world. There's no other product on the planet that can match it. We figured out a way to do the same for a fine sterling line. So it's my great pleasure and to work with the silver. It was actually easier to do it with gold, with Ferry Marsh, than to do it with silver, because silver is a very, very soft metal. Now, before we move on to the slide to introduce you to the next line, I do want to say that our fine sterling that we have currently, it says 92.5%. Well, 925 is something that's standard, it's regulatory to put on the high-end silver jewelry. But what that means is that on an average, 92.5% of that composition is actual silver. So it could be 905, it could be 930. And the problem is because vast majority of silver comes from Asia, the regulatory part of it is not really that strong. So we really don't know what you're getting. With our case, we had set ours, the ferry that you have right now, we have set ours at about 935, 940, but averaged about 92.5. So we already are higher than anyone else in the world. But we've figured out now, after 9 years of developing and metallurgy, working with metals, we've come up with a composition. We did what we've done with Ferry Marsh, and that is we've come up with a new silver, go ahead, Sanaz, that we call our brand new Palladium collection. So what is the Palladium collection? Well, just like the 21 karat composition, we figured out how to increase the purity of silver without it becoming so soft that it can't that be unusable. So you see it right. 950. The silver that we're going to use from now on every single fine sterling line that we have, it's going to be 950, something the world has never seen. In addition to that, you already know we already had the world's benchmark when it comes to rhodium plating. Not only we use natural plating of rhodium, which is rhodium is more expensive than gold, but we use a very special, exclusive German technology to do to plate our ferry. Many of even luxury companies don't even use rhodium anymore. Even Tiffany doesn't use rhodium anymore because it's a very expensive metal. Not only we use rhodium, we have a very special way of doing it. But so we already had the best plating in the world. We've now opted with a whole new system, whole new process, and basically we won't talk about the process, but it has palladium as well as rhodium and other composition put together. It brings out this unbelievable shield and lust for the metal. Again, these are trade secrets that we're not going to say much about. So not only what we've done here with the new line, not only it's a 950 purity, not 925 anymore. Now we have a special plating that's not just rhodium. It's now it's a composition of rhodium, palladium, and a few different things that goes on the next generation ferry sterling line. So we decided we're not going to, it's like saying a ferry marsh being in 21K, just saying to call it gold collection, it doesn't do it justice because there are 10 karat golds out there. So we're going to change the name from a fine sterling to our new Palladium fine collection, which the heart of it, the construction is silver, the highest purity the industry has ever seen. In addition to that, a plating technology that gets two more metals that are even more expensive than gold, rhodium and palladium, very, very expensive precious metals, combined as plating for the silver. So hence we call it our brand new Palladium Fine Collection. So what you have right now on your websites, and I just want to talk about that perhaps, that if you see something that you like, go ahead and get it because we're not reproducing it, because now everything is going to shift to Palladium Fine Collection and not the fine sterling. Now, because of Posh, or where Sanaz is taking Posh, what I'm bringing Ferry is that we're going to reduce the amount of SKUs on Ferry because we don't need to have a low price Ferry. It's fine sterling. So we're going to increase quality. So I'm basically bringing our silver collection to what Ferry Marsh is. It's going to become the Ferry Marsh of the silver world. That is, it's become the Bugatti of the silver jewelry in the world, of what we've been able to do through our metallurgy R&D. So Sanaz, I know that we have already, this collection is coming in. Maybe you want to share a little bit about how it's going to affect our current inventory. And obviously that's good news for our people because I guess a lot of these are going to go in the last call.
Thanks, Ramin. Yeah, well, I mean, the last call has really become a collection where if it's odds and ends or odd sizes that are left. But basically what we're doing is with the sterling silver, like you mentioned, the lower price items are going to be discontinued. With the new Palladium collection that's going to be coming out, it's going to be a new collection of what we call a lot of the red carpet pieces, you know, very statement pieces, if you want to call them, whether they're pendants or earrings or necklaces. And at the Palladium collection, it will actually, of course, be introduced at the International Convention. It will absolutely mesmerize you once you see it on the runway. The stonework, the quality, I mean, the quality and the workmanship has already been phenomenal, but with this new 950, It will just absolutely blow your mind. And talk about an investment. Again, the highest purity that you go, you get your investment value. At the same time, it's exclusive. I mean, we already had the Fairy Mosh that was super exclusive. Now you're going to have your Fairy that's going to be super exclusive as well. And again, what you want to do is, if you're even seeing items in the sterling silver collection, you want to make sure that you are picking it up, because once again, the inventory is sold out. We're going to be doing a complete rollout, starting a convention time, moving into 2014, 15, and 16, to convert the designs that will remain in the 950. So you want to make sure you definitely get the items that you do want. In the Fairy Sterling Silver, if you do see it going into last call, that means it will not be coming back. It will be one of the items that we will no longer be carrying anymore. So those are definitely, if you have an attachment to a design, you want to make sure you get that. Again, we talked about having exclusive products, and you know what? This is what I'm so excited about, having the 950 Palladium pieces that are going to be coming up for International Convention. Again, wait to see them on the runway. They will be a part of the fashion show, and they are definitely statement pieces, Remy.
Now imagine how proud you're going to be. You know how proud you are right now talking about the Fairy Mosh? Imagine how proud you're going to be when you're going to wear your Palladium piece, and people say, "What is that?" And it's our new Palladium collection. So imagine, I mean, where we brought this right now, so it's not silver anymore. It's silver, rhodium, palladium together. It is a special composition that's never been done before. So I'm so excited about this, because what Fairy Mosh did to our gold collection, our Palladium collection is now down to our, probably the number one seller, the brand that brought us to where we are today, which are fine sterling. Now Palladium, it just deserved to be brought to where it's at now, which now proudly call GWT's or Fairy's Palladium Fine Collection. I can't wait to get it. Now, if you think the designs that we have now are mesmerizing, which they are, I've seen the stuff that's coming out with the Palladium collection. It's just gonna rock your mind. We say it all the time, and every time we say it, we do it. So just get ready to get rocked one more time. And so that's, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about, but I had to see some of those things because I had to pay for them, and my brain was rocked on what it cost me to produce it. So expect the prices to go up on the Palladium collection, obviously. The quality is going to be absolutely beyond human comprehension. Now, so I don't think we even talked about the special stones that we're going to be using on this, the hench cut, because at the end of the day, when I saw what my cost would be on the Palladium collection, ladies and gentlemen, which, by the way, Palladium is a GWT trademark now, it literally even up by 2.5 to 2.7 times. In other words, 250% to 275% was my cost that went up, because we use the most expensive, precious metals for our silver collection. Again, making it the Rolls Royce of the silver collection. Now, why can we do this? Because Posh allowed us to do this. So it's all falling in place perfectly. We are the most prestigious design in the world. We're relentlessly working towards that. The stones that we're going to be using on this, let's put it to you this way. You can buy lab-made diamonds, or you can buy cubic zirconia everywhere. There's only 2 company manufacturers in the world that actually does the hinge cutting stones that we use for the Palladium Fine collection. And one of them, the reason why the price doubled and almost tripled, is because one of the 2 actually stopped producing it. So there's only one manufacturer that creates this type of quality stones in the world. And Fairy Palladium Fine collection will have that. It's the same as Fairy Mosh. If you've seen the movie Modern Legend, for every 10,000 carats of diamonds cut, only less than 10 carats is fit to go on the Fairy Mosh. Well, we brought the Palladium collection to that level for Fairy, and I'm revved up about it. You have no idea how you're gonna feel when you see this new collection that's coming out.
Well, Ramin, what's basically coming out for the stones is there's going to be a lot of colors that's going to be added to this collection. And again, it's a lot of the red carpet, like I mentioned, statement pieces, whether it's the Palladium, whether it's the stone colors. It's just going to be absolutely breathtaking. And talking about the hench cutting again, this is basically laser precision cutting that we're using in our stonework. We've already used it in our collections for the past little while, but it is definitely going to be evolving and expanding. And again, it will just absolutely mesmerize the audience, and I can't wait.
So it's not silver, it's Palladium.
You got it.
Oh, the luxury footwear. Well, this is your department, Sanaz, but I'm just going to say this. That's one of the projects that we did announce last year that we're going to do it this year. Honestly, I didn't think we're going to make it because we had some setbacks along the way with some factories, and some samples came in, and Sanaz. Well, pretty much what we do is that once we submit a design, they have to create a prototype for us. Came in, didn't work out, and so I really didn't think we were going to make it to release it this year. We've talked about this for about 2-3 years now. So if you remember, what at the last convention we talked about how Fairy Exotics would be in 2016, and then Fairy Footwear would be in 2014. Because I didn't think we were going to make this footwear, so we really went on try to at least switch positions to have the Fairy Exotics, since I really didn't think we were going to be able to do it. But I got to tell you, over the past year, we've, many of you know, we've been traveling a lot. We've visited factories all over the world. We're talking about, probably about 6 states, cities in Italy. We've been all over France. We've been to Portugal. We've been to Spain. We've visited many, many factories. And for me, if I'm not sure, 100% sure about something, I'd rather not release it than release something that could tarnish or doesn't meet the Fairy's elaborate reputation. Well, what's coming up? We finally found, and it was funny because we weren't getting anywhere for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden we came across a couple of very exclusive factories. And what excites me about these factories is that not only they're very exclusive, but they're already doing shoes for some of the biggest brands in the world. So, and we know who those brands are and stuff that we've been wearing, and has been wearing all this our life. That gives me the confidence knowing that, okay, we've got the right factory. If we can get the right design and we can get the right technology, and they have to help us with this because we're not in a footwear business. So obviously we've done a lot of research. We do have consultants that talk to us. For example, in researching footwear, we found out, and one of the things we found out is that, we have to be very careful how we design things, because people will make 11 assumptions about you by what you're wearing without even knowing who you are, without even talking to you. People will make 11 assumptions about you. So those are some of the things that we've been studying over time, come up with a technology, come up with a design, and have these factories who have 100 years of manufacturing behind them already with manufacture some very prestigious brands. So I'm happy to say that I'm shocked that we've managed not just to meet our objectives. We've gone beyond our objective to a point. Again, we're not going to talk about much of it tonight, but what you're going to find at the convention, again, you're going to see this tonight, and you're going to be, wow, when can I have it? But I'll tell you, what you're going to see at the convention, you're going to look at each other, you're going to say, what? So that's where we're going. But tonight, I think, from all the gorgeous designs that we have, we decided to release two designs, and maybe we want to talk about, the leather, talk about how it's manufactured, and the concept of where fairy luxury footwear is going.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let them drool while I'm talking about it by bringing it up on screen, Ramin, because again, the leather footwear that is coming, the fairy footwear that is coming, is going to be absolutely breathtaking. I mean, we are doing some specialized things. We're incorporating some gold accents into our heels, whether they are for the ladies or for the men. This is a heel, of course, as well as a boot incorporated with our fairy. Again, these are made for us as well. There's going to be lots of gold trim, gold heel, gold sole. So there's going to be lots of goodies coming up. I'm not going to give it all away. There's lots there's everything from shoes to short boots to long boots coming. There's lots and lots and lots of techniques that we're using in developing and you mentioned. For myself, I've been a luxury buyer for many, many years. I mean, everything from my Christian Louboutins to Jimmy Choo's to Miu Miu's to, I mean, you name it. I mean, I've worn them, have them, and it was about having a gorgeous design, but also having them look absolutely spectacular and having a unique touch and features, and that is something that you are definitely going to find with the fairy footwear. This is just a very, very smart looking shoe or boot. And again, once they come out on the runway, once you get a chance to see them, once you get a chance to touch them, again, they're all high grade lambskin leather that we're going to be using. Again, every single shoe is molded much the same like we do with our silver. It's molded for us, and we're going to have lots of different collections and sizes to choose from. Now, I know a lot of the ladies have been asking me from what size we're starting. We're starting from size 5. We're going up to size 10. Of course, for the men, we're going to be starting from 8.5. So there's going to be lots of collection, lots of great designs, and they're going to be a lot of fun. And guess what? You always hear about getting paid to wear luxury designer goods. Well, it doesn't get any better than this. And like Remy mentioned earlier, if people are looking at you and they're looking down at your shoes and judging you, I think, Remy, you said 12 times, right? Well, you know what? What could be better than wearing your own shoes and getting paid to wear these luxury designer goods?
I mean, we don't do things, if we do it, we do it right. As you know, I'm a car guy, and I've been hearing for the past 5 or 6 years that Bentley is trying to come up with an SUV, but they refuse to do it because they feel what they're going to come up with is not going to match the Range Rover, so they keep holding it back until they feel they have a vehicle, SUV, that's going to be the best in the world. But with us, it's the same way. We don't release until we know when it comes out, challenge the best of the best, and it will be superior. Like what Sanas talked about, the hardware that we use on this, the hardware alone, you would think that was simple. Just get a piece of metal, plate it, and whatever. There's like 20 different quality control, different levels of quality on the hardware alone. And when we take a look at what our competitors use and what we're using, some of them just using copper, some of them using a 304 steel, some of them three. Like with us, we use the best of the best of the best. And also, I'm a problem customer. Once we come up with the design with our design team and we submit to the factory, they better do it. And we have people say, well, you can't do this gold thing on the heel, and for this type of design, it doesn't work. And I'm the Henry Ford that says it doesn't work, then make it work. And we went through a lot of back and forth. They like our business, they love our brand, they want to do it, and at the end of the day, they have to develop these large factories. They have to develop themselves further to meet our quality, to meet our level of detail. I was told that some of the biggest clients I have, Dolce & Gabbana, all these guys, the level of the detail that we have on our designs, they've never seen. So they actually had to go external out of their factory to another factory to be able to get some of those things, to be able to meet our requirements. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, as gorgeous as it is, prepare to be mesmerized of what's coming out. And by the way, the leather that Sanaz talked about, we use what's called Napa leather, and to most of you, it doesn't mean anything. The minute I heard it, I knew what it was because that's what Mercedes-Benz always brags about, that they use Napa leather in their S-Class Mercedes-Benz. So not in all their classes, just in their S-Class Mercedes-Benz. So it is the best that you can find. Now, we actually have one even higher that we're using in one of our products that come, designs are coming out. That particular is not even being used for shoes. But again, I'm saying too much more than I should. Know that this collection, very luxury footwear, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's the best of the best. Obviously, it's a first release. We're going to come out with it. It will evolve like everything else. But I believe we hit an absolute home run, Sanaz, right at the gate. So I want to congratulate you and your team. I'm really revved up about this. And I know the ladies are really, really revved up. And I know you guys are saying, hey, what about us? Well, we're not going to talk about that tonight, but know that I personally don't want to be wearing anyone else's shoes as well. So as men, we're well taken care of. We're not talking about that tonight, but we are well taken care of.
And the men will look absolutely super hot and sexy with those shoes, Ramin. I just had to put that one in.
If we don't produce the men's shoes, don't be surprised if G20 men do start wearing it just because they want to wear the ferry.
Well, you know what? I know they're going to be absolutely mesmerized with what's coming in June, and that's why it's important to be there. All right, Ramin, this is, I know, something that is so dear to your heart, and you have been asking for this forever and ever and ever and ever.
I'm not sure if it's dear is the word. I mean, frustration is the word. You're right. For 4 years, I've been yelling in our boardroom table, where is my fragrances?
I was trying to be diplomatic.
It's part of, look, it took 4 years to do this for a reason. Unlike anything else we create, fragrances, there's an element of health in it. I mean, people could be allergic to it. You know, the skin reaction. There are things we need to worry about. And when it comes down to fragrances, and after 4 years of R&D and research, we found out, you know, there's many countries that make fragrances: Germany, Colombia, Canada. I mean, we could be like anywhere. Here's the problem: if you decide to do it somewhere else other than where we make it, yeah, you're going to save a lot of money. In fact, you know, about 10 to 15% of what we're paying for it, you can get this done somewhere else. The issue is, because they don't follow the accepted protocols, when you go to ship these fragrances externally, many countries will reject it or go through very intense scrutiny because countries know. It's almost like, you know, what other companies have a problem with, which is health and wellness. When you go to ship it, every country has its own health and wellness or FDA. Well, the fragrance is the same, except when you make it where we make it, because they're the best in the world, and they make it for the biggest brands you already use, and it has to only be done in one country and one country only, then they know, countries around the world, customs around the world know that all the protocols have been followed, all the check marks have been done, it is hypoallergenic, it's gone through the most intense scrutiny, and when this country or certain factories, cities in this country produces this product, that they don't have to worry about people being hurt by it. So yeah, it took 4 years. And we went through so many. I mean, we rejected many scents that came out, but I'm happy to say that now we have 2 fragrances for men already approved and 2 for women. Some of you in St. Martin who are on this call right now, you came on. Sanaz let the cat out of the bag. Says, "Hey, you wanna? If you get a chance, go close to our CEO and smell the scent." And she was trying to get me back on something I said, because what he's wearing is a fairy, and I was wearing a fairy. Next thing you know, everyone's rushing to me, you know, to get the scent. So at the end of the day, I am absolutely jazzed. And Sanaz, you can defend yours, but I really think men's, I think we won this one over the ladies version. But then again, that's my views on it. I am revved up about it, so Sanaz, go ahead and release.
All right. Well, you know what, Ramin? I worked on both of them. So whether they're the men's or women's, I absolutely love them. They're absolutely breathtaking. They're gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations at this international convention. You are going to get a chance to be able to smell this amazing, amazing fragrance. Of course, made in France. For ladies and for men, this is the bottle version that we are going to be carrying for the ladies. It's gold. It's made in gold. Again, we're going to be doing lots and lots of gold for the ladies. And again, Ramin, I know you always have these creative marketing names and you love to talk about them. So why don't you give us a little?
Well, you know what? I give this a lot of thought. I actually had a lot of time to think about this. In fact, I had 4 years to think about this one. And I really wanted to come out. Fragrance is different than anything else we do. And really, and this is why all the other major designers, if you notice on TV, they don't advertise anything else. The only thing they advertise is actually their fragrances, like Gucci, Guilty, Chanel 5. So all these guys, although they make everything else, but the only thing they actually advertise is only their fragrances. And here's the reason why. Fragrance is like tobacco. I mean, somebody gets on it, they stay on it forever. People may have different type of bags, different type of shoes, but people stick to their fragrance. And I know, like my mother, she's been using her opium for the past 50 years, and that's what she uses in Chanel. So at the end of the day, it's the most important component of being a luxury designer. And I felt the ultimate femininity, is a great way to describe the scent, the chemistry that we put together here. And we have different brands coming out now and different names coming out now, but basically Fairy, Senses, and we try to put the French twist to it. On the bottom, of course, we're proudly, it's like saying made in Italy, proudly does say that it was made in France because it is above all. It is above all when it comes down to fragrances. So this particular one is for ladies, and Sanaz, why don't you pull up the men's?
Absolutely. This is the ultimate masculine fragrance that we're going to be able to have. The scent for men, the ultimate.
So again, this particular one for men is called the ultimate. It's the ultimate masculinity, and there's two fragrances for men. This particular one is for going out. And we have another one that's got very sport, and it's completely different. What I love about our fragrances, men and women, again, it is the highest quality. It's not one of those, and you got the eau de toilette and you got suck, but this particular one, it's actually perfume. And the natural oils that's in it, it's really a little bit, all you need, because it is so high quality. A little bit is all you need for it to last a long time. We already have this to test, where some of our staff actually put in their hand, they wash their hand, and with soap, and the scent will still be there. Where when you buy regular perfume, you have to spray a lot on you, and I see some ladies just kind of shower with it. In this particular one, no, a little bit, and it'll last. And you take a shower, you still scent it on you. That's how pure this. But then that's what it is with the top level, high grade, very much grade perfumes. That's how they are. That's why opium. You pay $400 for a bottle, but you will need a drop, and the bottles are so small because you'll need a drop, and that's all you need. So with our fragrances was the same way. We wanted something that is the best of the best that we could do. We've gone to the absolute best country, to the absolute best factory, who makes, by the way, for the top brands in the world. And we just said, look, what's the best of the best you can do? Not what you do for the designers, what's the best of the best you can do? And they came back to us, and with a bunch of different scents, we rejected the first 6 or 8 of them. And then we finally had 2 home runs for men. The ladies got rejected again. Then they sent 2 more sets, and one was rejected again. And so we finally got 2 scents for women and 2 for men. Here we are, 4 years later, And this is really why it's sweet for me. This was the last thing we needed to complete the cycle of a luxury designer. Because, you know, to be a luxury designer, you must have your fragrance. And we did it, and we've done it right. The bottle is absolutely gorgeous. The colors are off right now, what you see on this poster, because of the way we were in the middle of construction. Our studio was down, and the picture didn't come out right. But uh, you know how you always tell us that we thought the stuff was beautiful on the website. When we got it, we got mesmerized. Well, same thing's going to happen here. When you get this, you're going to be absolutely amazed from A to Z. So I'm really, really revved up about it. We can, you know, we have like 14 different releases tonight. As we talked about 5 of them. We just want to let you know that what type of convention that's coming up. There is no reason, there's absolutely no reason. You could not come up with a reason that you're not going to be there. You know, oh, I don't have any money, I can't afford it. Well, you know what, you can't afford it, but I can guarantee you, if your car breaks down tomorrow, you'll find the money to do it. You know, go to whoever was going to lend you the money to fix that car, and that's for consumption, and invest it in this convention, because by making an investment into this convention, you're going to probably put about 30 to 50 grand if you're minimum part-time on your T4A next year. You have to be here to see these things, and not to mention be part of the history. Be part of the history of this emerging luxury designer. So I can't say more about that. Leave it up to the leadership to go out there, pick up the phone, smile and dial, and be extremely firm and tough with their people. Make it to the convention. You have no excuse. Now, Sanaz, I'm getting hungry. Tell me about this sandwich.
All right. So first of all, I want to mention to everyone that ticket prices are going up by $50 again on May the 14th. Right now, single tickets are $219. Double tickets for 2 people is $399. You don't need to be a couple. You guys can be business partners. It can be 2 distributors wanting to get a ticket, and you can pay $399. So that's a savings for you. Ticket prices will go up May the 14th by $50. So you want to make sure that you are grabbing your tickets right away. Of course, if you're looking for a single ticket after May the 14th, the ticket prices will go up to $269, and of course, the tickets that are $399 currently will go up to $449. So you want to make sure you save that, you buy your ticket right away. Now, this is really, really important, Ramin. The hungry part, absolutely. Make sure you don't go hungry at convention. We are selling lunch tickets for both days, which means Friday and Saturday. The lunch is not a part of your ticket. Now, for the hotel, there is no Tim Hortons across the street that you can run over and grab something. So you got to make sure that you get fed. For $30, we're giving you a box lunch for Friday and Saturday. If you haven't bought your lunch tickets, make sure you go ahead and buy your tickets. It's right in your back office, right where you buy your tickets. And of course, if you like to be able to bring a very exclusive VIP guest with you or your spouse, you can always buy them an $89 gala ticket. That's Ferry Mosh Ring. That's when the President's Cup winner is given away. And of course, all the award ceremonies are done. So with your $219 or $399 tickets, the gala is, of course, included. But you got to make sure that you're buying your ticket as well as a lunch ticket to make sure you don't go hungry.
Most importantly, if you've launched your mall over the past 7 days, just in case your enroller forgot to tell you, I can imagine why, but just in case I forget to tell you, because you missed the early bird pricing, which was $169 and $299, but basically $50 off for a single and $100 for a double. Because you were not here to take advantage of that early bird pricing, you have 7 days from the time that you launch your mall to actually be able to register at the early bird pricing. So make sure you tell all your new VDMs the minute they launched, the same moment, tell them to register for the convention, because once they find out they could have done it and saved $50 or $100, and you didn't tell them that, they're not going to be very happy about it. So if you've launched over the past 7 days, make sure that you go ahead and register your tickets and get it at the early bird pricing.
One other thing, Ramin, I wanted to mention is that the room blocks have already been sold out twice. I've already added a new block. Right now, the double beds are not available. They are completely sold out. We're trying to negotiate a new block now. As you guys know, a room is $121 that we got the rate for you guys. That, of course, includes free parking. It's including free internet and as well as the cost of your room. So it is an absolute steal to stay there, because you are getting free parking, you are getting free internet, and you're getting your room at $121. And if you're sharing it with a couple of people, of course, that reduces down your costs as well. All right, now last but not least, Remy, of course, this is a bittersweet sort of announcement, I guess.
Well, not at all. I think it's time. It's all about progress. Progress is never still. And no other company in the world offered what a gorgeous gallery that we have made available to our LCs, the lounge, the boardroom tables, all of that. We had that for the first 4 years, but we worked so hard to expand, and our business right now is momentum. We're hiring new staff, so we are expanding. We're taking over the other side, which means now the team night on Wednesday nights, as well as boot camps, are now being shifted into a hotel. When I was on the field, we loved going to the hotel every Tuesday night, every Saturday for the trainings. All we're doing now, doing what every other company is doing around the world. And this Wednesday is going to be the first one. Let's jam the house there. Our personnel will be there as well. We're going to launch this thing properly. Nothing will change. If anything, hotel gives you an element that our lounge here doesn't bring. You have nice restaurants there. You have coffee shops there. It's a business environment. I think you're going to have a tremendous amount of success. People generally like to go to hotels, but they don't necessarily might like to go to offices. So I think you have an advantage. Right now, the leadership have decided Radisson to be the hotel. This is not a corporate decision. This is your leadership. So they're the one that made the decision where it should be and which hotel. I'm revved up to be there this Wednesday, team night. Don't be late. I'm packed the house with guests. Let's put your VDM into momentum. Of course, with every LC that you get started every single day now, it becomes vital, because these folks will be at the convention. And after the convention, they're all going to light on fire. And that means money for you. The more people you have at that convention, the higher your check is going to be. So if you're just going to show up for yourself, great for you. You should be there, and it's going to make significant difference. But if you have 10 people in your team also come, all those, by being there, your CV will increase significantly. If you're going to have 50, 100 people at this convention, when I was on the field, I made sure we had a whole section reserved for us. So I want to make sure I have as many people as possible, and I've had as much as 150 people fly in from different parts of the world in my team alone to make sure to come to the convention. So you want to make sure that you're on your phone and your people are going to be there. And you can't say, well, I'm not going, you should go. This is not a type of business that, do as I say and don't do as I do. It won't work. You have no excuses. You're going, and because you're going, now you're going to tell everybody to go, because you're going to be there. If you're serious about building this business, if you want your people to succeed, they need to be there. Not just to be part of the history, for the training, bonding, partying, meeting people. It's overall, the experience is unparalleled.
Thank you so much, Ramin. I think it's going to be an exciting event on Wednesday. If you're in the area, make sure you are there. And of course, that concludes our webinars. I'd like to, at this point, pass it on to Renee Liao, our amazing host for this evening, to do any final announcements.
Well, my goodness, thank you so much, Sanaz and Ramin, and Folks, I'm dying here because I got two kids sleeping, and I want to scream in excitement. I just, my head's gonna pop, my heart's gonna pop, and my whole body's gonna pop soon because I just can't take anymore. I'm just so excited. I mean, Facebook is going insane. Every 2 seconds, my Facebook is popping something up with, people being excited, and folks, I've never seen so many people jam-pack this call. I mean, the lines are going up consistently throughout the call. I've never seen so many people, flooding the messages here. Man, there's so many messages going on this chat box. I can't possibly read them all. So I'll just share a quick few comments just to sort of share the excitement for people on the call tonight. I've got people saying, um, let's see here. Oh my, OMG, OMG. I'm freaking out. GWT rocks. Great designs, guys. I'm loving everything. I've got Sean saying, it is insane. Yes, it must be Fairy Palladium. Of course, I've got someone else saying, haven't spent my eye in a while waiting for the new collections, baby. I got Junior so saying, wow, insane. Of course, I've got someone, Akeisha, saying, you guys are killing me with the designs here. I am going crazy over these products. I can tell my retail sales are looking bright. Of course, Shantine also says that I get paid to walk in fairy and smell very good as well too. I got Norris saying, OMG, can't wait to have all three in my collections. I got Trent saying, that's what I'm talking about. Men posh. I am loving it. Yes, Arrow, we know that the men's posh line is going to be absolutely amazing. And just saying, awesome, great job. Arrow then says, if this is all for real, like I said, I'm loving it. Selenium Fine Collection, wow. Again, so many people are just so exciting here. Um, Again, a lot of questions coming in that were already answered. So let's get those questions for the meantime here. Jeanette just says, I have just run out of words, Renee. Jeanette, Jeanette, I think everyone on tonight's call is feeling the same way. We're just speechless. And, if this is just the sneak preview of what's coming out in convention, I beg, I'm telling everyone, get your tickets to convention right now. I mean, tonight you're gonna be hitting the phones like crazy, telling every single person, we have all the cool snapshot photos, on the Facebook pages right now. You want to call your people, get them onto your Facebook, take a look at what's going on, and make sure they get their convention tickets right now. Of course, we've got, a lot of people just saying, wow, 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 can't loving the shoes here. Of course, we got Sherry saying that she can't keep enough of her eye in her account, of course, too. Um, Trent says, I love my shoes. It is my fairy shoes. Thank you, Ramin. Shoes, 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 fairy shoes. Angela saying, wow, wow, this is so exciting. I can't wait to purchase the footwear. LOL. I got Ebok saying, the shoes are lovely. I've got, Arcadis here saying, this is fantastic. Hope they're open toe shoes and sandals. I can see myself with my fairy bag, shoes, and bling. Man, the sister got it made to the to the billion. Again, there's just so many comments coming in here they just keep coming in. I keep going for a bit longer here. Lior says, wow, no other direct sales company in the world can offer what GWT does in many ways, especially our products. The only company that allows you to get paid to walk. Thank you, Ramin, for delivering on all your promises since I've started 6 years ago, and I can't wait for convention to see all these products firsthand. I was hoping to go to sleep early, but that's not happening. To the billion. I don't think anyone is gonna go sleep tonight early at all, or sleep, peacefully. All these highs in our head. Again, and thank you, Sinesh, for creating the best and highest quality products on the earth. From Lior. Arrow says, "Fairy fine fragrances." Okay, Ramin and Sinesh, I need a good drink. This is sick. Wow, 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 and wow. Georgia Spickle says, unbelievable news tonight. My breath is taken away. GWT has done it again. New brand, shoes, boots, fragrance. Wow, wow, wow. I got Sharna. Oh, it's a long message from Sharna saying, wow, wow, wow. This is Sharna Robinson on the call. Very long. The new Fairy Posh logo looks absolutely amazing. I am so excited to see the new Posh sets, and it's going to generate insane increased sales, especially the men Posh line. The Selenium Fine Collection has really pushed the bar standards to an all-time high. Shoes. Oh my gosh. Fragrances and that you really outdone yourself. I am so proud to be part of Global Wealth Trade. I caught the vision 2011 and I am excited as the day I joined to the billions. Um, Oh my goodness, here, I guess there's just so many people here. D-Roy says, D-Roy goes even longer. I want to do it again. But folks, I mean, there's so many messages coming in here. I want to say thank you so much, Rumi and Sinesz, for the amazing announcement. A great change for new jewelry, shoes, perfume. Congratulations, thank you. Junior says, oh my, OMG, wow, this is insane. I can't wait to convention. Thank you, Rumi says. But, I just can't possibly read all the messages coming in here. So, one or two more last ones here. Keisha saying, OMG, OMG. Guys, I am screaming out loud here. I've never been so excited about a product before. Could hardly wait to get them all. June, are you here yet? GWT rocks. And folks, you know what? There's more and more content coming in, but I don't want to take up everyone's time tonight. For my personal message here, folks, oh my goodness, again, like what Lior said, 7 years. I can't believe it feels like a dream. It's just an imaginable reality that we have here, folks. Again, folks, the main point tonight is make sure you get your convention tickets. This call has been recorded and will be put live shortly after we get the call tonight. Anyone that misses call, your duty, your responsibility for your people, make sure they watch this recording. And beside from that, folks, I hope that tonight, after seeing this call, that you can now see why GWT is simply the best company in the world. There is nothing in the world out there that can touch or compare to what we have here at GWT. Thanks again to our amazing presenters tonight, our CEO, Rami Masgarlu, our VP of Product, Mr. Nasuman. Again, folks, have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all this coming Wednesday night at our live weekly tours. Folks, to the billion, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful morning, evening, and afternoon. Bye, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Renee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sinesz. Good night.
Absolutely. See you all at convention.
Woo!